If you're a trainer or fitness professional and you're searching for a greater level of success in your fitness business, but right now you're just not exactly sure how you are going to achieve that, I want to share with you and unpack for you a 6-step formula that has created massive success, both for myself and for other fitness businesses that have followed this journey. My name is Brad Shepherd and I'm from Trainer HQ, and today I first of all want to unpack for you my history, how I kicked off, and what most trainers do when they start in this industry. I also want to show you how you can transition from being just a trainer, just a PT, to being the owner of a successful personal training business. I'm going to unpack for you along the way some of the challenges that personal trainers face, and I want to show you what's possible via this 6-step formula. I started as a personal trainer a very long time ago, back in 1995 it was. Now, when I first kicked off as a PT, I really had no idea about business. I just had no understanding. I had no clue on how to get or to acquire new training clients. I really didn't know how to market myself. I didn't know how to get my message across. I wasn't even sure what I stood for or what some of my unique differences would have been. I just knew that I was now a qualified trainer and I wanted to go out there and train people. When I started getting people in front of me, I was continually discounting. I would do whatever I could to sign somebody up. And quite often I would even discount before the person had even asked for the discount. But surely if they did ask for it, then they were going to get it back then. And I became that trainer that would train anyone, anywhere, anytime. Early mornings, middle of the days, afternoons, late at night, weekends, you name it. I was too afraid to say no to people. I was desperate to get clients. I was too afraid to put up my prices. I was too afraid to enforce things like cancellation policies. So even when I started to get a bit of an understanding around business, things like cancellation policies, it really scared me, because my thoughts were, well, if I enforce this cancellation policy, there's a fear that I might upset these people. There's a fear that they might stop training with me or not come back or any of that sort of stuff. So consequently, what it meant for me is that I just didn't do this stuff. And I was too afraid to increase my rates when I started to get clients on board. And I'd heard about the concept of increasing fees and being able to earn more. I understood it. However, I just had no idea on how to deliver a message like that. And so when I look back on that journey that I had, and it was really about the first 5 years inside the fitness industry for me, I would say that journey as a trainer was an absolute roller coaster for me, because there would be times when I would have clients signing up and coming along and training with me. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved what I did. I was completely passionate about it and I loved training my clients. However, I also had times when all of a sudden, out of the blue, I'd have 1, 2, sometimes 3 clients drop off or finish up for no apparent reason at all. And that presented me with a very stressful situation, because suddenly that meant that there was going to be a dramatic drop and a dramatic change to the cash flow that I was bringing in. And so during that first 5 years, I had plenty of moments when I questioned, can I sustain this journey as a PT? Can I build a sustainable career? Can I get what it is that I want? And there were many times in that 5-year journey where I literally wanted to quit the industry, because I just couldn't see a way forward. I couldn't see a way that I could potentially make it happen and make it a sustainable lifestyle. Now, I'm here to tell you that what I see is these things are pretty common in the fitness industry. And for many PTs, what I just shared with you is a pretty common thing for them. And so what I want to do today is speak to you a little bit about how I was able to overcome some of these frustrations and concerns. So I did have quite a long journey in the fitness industry, and I was able to run a personal training business for 20 years. And as you just heard, the first 5 years were that roller coaster journey. But over that time, I built up a personal training business, and the name of that business was called Peak Physique. And we ran that business here in Brisbane, in Queensland, in Australia. And over the 20 years, I was able to go from that roller coaster journey. I was able to go from being a solo independent personal trainer, and I was able to go to building up a business which ultimately had 13 personal trainers. And in that business, we conducted well over 200 hours of 45-minute personal training sessions every week. So somewhere up around about 250, 270 PT sessions per week is what we did on a weekly basis. Now, for me, I learned early on in my career that, number one, I didn't possess all the skill sets. I didn't possess all the knowledge. And what I found out was that to get a great team of people around me was going to be definitely a turning point on my journey as well. So me personally, I can't conduct 200 hours of personal training every single week. It's just not possible because everybody's got 168 hours in the week. So I had to start getting creative and starting to learn some of the concepts around business and how to build a successful fitness business. Now, you might ask, why would you build a fitness business? And for me, really, it's to engineer the lifestyle of my dreams, the things that I want to do. And so it's stuff like being able to live the type of lifestyle I want to live. It's being able to impact the type of people I want to impact. And more importantly, it's being able to spend time with the people that are most important to me. And that's having a beautiful family and being able to enjoy that, knowing that I'm not a slave to my business. Now, over the time of my career as a personal trainer, my charge out rate had changed quite significantly. So when I first kicked off 25 or so years ago, the going rate was about $30 per hour. And I thought, that is incredible. If someone's going to pay me $30 for an hour to train them, I am in. This is amazing. What you'll see by the graph is for the first few years during that roller coaster journey, that rate didn't really change that much at all. It pretty much stayed the same. And I was in that pattern of discounting, doing whatever I could, not increasing people's rates. But then what you'll see is after the year 2000, moving forward, is that you'll start to see that rate climb. And you'll start to see that rate climb quite significantly. It gets up to $50 per session, and then it gets up to $70, up to $90, up to $110 per session. And then it makes a significant jump where it goes from $110 a session up to $220 for a session. And then what you'll also see around about 2006 is that it has quite a significant jump where it then moves from $220 up to $440. And that is a per session rate for a single one-on-one 45-minute personal training session. Now, you might be asking, who on earth would pay $400 for personal training? And it's beyond the scope of what I'll run you through today to explain that. But I just want to let you know that there are people out there that do have a high disposable income. There are people out there that are in enough pain or discomfort, and the price becomes irrelevant. And then finally, there are people out there that just see massive value in investing in the best. What it meant for me is that I was able to reduce my actual hands-on hours per week. So when I first kicked off, I struggled to get clients. And then what you'll see is for the first few years, I started to build up. And then after about 5 years in the game, I was able to get myself very busy. So back then I was doing 1 hour sessions, and I had myself doing up to 40 1-hour sessions per week. Now, at the end of weeks like that, I was pretty burnt out. I was pretty exhausted. And at that point in time, that was really the turning point to me to figure out, well, I need to learn some business systems. I need to learn some methodology, which is going to ultimately change this for me. Because back then, when I first kicked off really doing 40 hours of personal training per week, charging bottom dollar, discounting wherever I could, not enforcing cancellation policies, it was a challenging situation to be in. Most days I was working from 5 a.m. until 9 p.m. I was all over the place, and really I got to the point where I virtually wanted to quit the industry altogether. What you'll see by this graph is as that journey continues on, is as I was able to implement the correct systems and start to build a business, it meant that I could reduce my physical hands-on hours that I was in the gym training clients. And for the later stages of my personal training career, I was down doing a roughly 10 appointments per week, and that's at the $400 rate. So really, for me, there was a massive mindset shift, and I refer to it as the mindset of a six-figure personal trainer. And this mindset shift meant that I was able to increase my revenue and also my profits. Now, increasing revenue is great, but when you're in business, you need to make sure that it is profitable. At the same time as I was able to reduce my physical hands-on hours of turning up and training people in the gym. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love training clients all the way through my career as a personal trainer. However, I also realized that for me, there was an ideal amount of hours that I wanted to spend in the gym. So what I'd like to do is to run you through the exact system that enabled me to do all this. And it follows a pattern, it follows a methodology, and I want to unpack that for you right now. So steps 1 and 2, which I'm going to focus on first, is really about having a clear plan and following the right proven business systems. And that really is the strategic part of any business. So let's focus on point number 1 first of all. And that's all about making sure that you do actually have a clear plan when you are in business. Now, when we are chatting to a lot of trainers, we actually ask them about the game plan, where it is that they're heading. And you as a trainer need to make sure that you do have a clear game plan and you know exactly what that roadmap looks like, because too many trainers out there are just simply hoping for the best. Too many trainers out there are simply living week to week in terms of if they get paid, then they can live and they can eat. But if clients are away and cancelling and all the rest of it, they might not get paid. Many trainers are very unsure about their financial targets, and we get to speak to thousands of personal trainers every single year. And many of them we ask, what is your goal, or what is your financial target? And quite often that might get met with a response like, well, if I can earn a bit more than I am now, that's pretty good. Now, when I hear that, although it's moving in the positive, it doesn't really fill me with confidence because it's not a clear and definite target. Many trainers are also very confused about exactly what they do need to track in their business in terms of metrics and what we call key performance indicators. Many trainers are very unclear if they can actually make a living out of this, and many people absolutely love what they do. They're incredibly passionate about it. However, they are very unclear whether they can make this a sustainable future. And many trainers just don't have any guidance, do not have any support, do not have any mentoring, do not have any accountability. And so once again, inside our industry, there can be a thing called professional loneliness. You're in it, you're in the business, and it's up to you to figure out every single part. So back to the income and the revenue, look, how much you earn as a trainer, it's entirely up to you. That's entirely your decision. But what we generally find is for many trainers, they absolutely love what they do. They're highly passionate about it. However, the amount of revenue that they earn quite often doesn't match up to their amount of energy, enthusiasm, and spirit that they have for it. Let's move on to systems and talk about why systems are so important in your business. Now, you might have heard this word systems, and systems are the exact reason why you've got a business like McDonald's, who can have a multi-billion-dollar organization run by a group of teenagers. That is what they call a system. And so in many ways, what you need to do is make sure that you start putting systems in place for your business. And too many trainers have little or no systems in place. And what that means is they're often turning up, once again, fingers crossed, with a hope plan and just trying to do the best with the knowledge or the skill set that they have. So, for example, of the many trainers we get to speak to, I asked someone this question just recently, and they were talking to me through a bit about what they do in their business. And I said, can you just explain to me how you effectively sell someone into your program? And they didn't really have a system or a methodology behind it. And what they said to me was, I run somebody through an introductory session, and at the end of it, what I do is I just tell them the price and I kind of wait to see their reaction. And I said to that person, okay, how's that working for you at the moment? And their response to me is, well, not so great. I've out of the last 20 consultations that person had, they'd signed up one person. So the conversion rate was atrocious. And so what I said is, what we need to do is we need to create a system inside this business to make sure that you can increase that conversion rate. If we now move to what I would refer to as the actions, and these are really the lifeblood of your fitness business, and that's getting more leads and making more sales. So number one, if we start with leads. Now, leads are a very interesting word in the fitness industry, because when we ask many trainers, what would you like? Quite often they say to us, we'd like to get more leads. Now, that is great. You need to have an effective marketing strategy, but having an effective marketing strategy, it's not just about acquiring leads. We can show you how to get leads. That's no problem at all. But what is important, it's about making sure that you attract your ideal client. And this ideal client is already highly qualified and they know exactly what problems you solve. So the better your messaging is, the better your marketing is, the more chance you're going to have to attract the type of person that is coming to you as the ultimate solution provider, and you're the person that can help and guide them through that process. Now, when you've got that person in front of you, of course, what you'd like to do in business is make more conversions and be able to make more sales so that you can actually service more people. Now, when someone's actually plucked up the courage to take that first step with you, they've made an inquiry, they've come for an introductory session, whatever that might be, what we need to do is we need to make sure that we have a structured and well thought out conversion process. So during this time, this person really feels like, wow, I am in good hands here and this person has my best interests at heart. And it would typically follow some sort of format where the new lead arrives, and from there what you need to do is have some sort of introductory conversation which is well scripted, well structured, and it goes on an exploration process which would potentially lead that person into some sort of consultation which is going to assist them on the journey to ultimately become a client. Now, each one of these parts in this process is a highly detailed, thought out and methodical stage which suits the nature of your business. And there are so many ways that you can take somebody through this journey, from an introductory call into step 2, which might be a consultation. It might be an introductory personal training session. It might be some type of free trial in your facility or your group training facility. It might be some type of body assessment, or it might be a blend of personal training and consultation. And trust me, with the tens of thousands of PTs that we've assisted and coached since 2008, we've been able to engineer the correct pathway for each specific type of business. The risky part would be to have no process and no system at all. And so once again, what we find is that as we work through this with people, we're actually able to engineer the correct pathway on what to take people on. If we have a look at steps 5 and step 6, what it brings us to is step number 5 is attracting more quality and higher paying clients. And so what it means by putting these processes in place, having a better lead generation system, having a better conversion process, what it does mean for you is that you actually position yourself as the expert, as the authority with your ideal clients. And what it means for you is that you can stop selling on price and you can actually sell on value, because people will willingly pay more for a specialist. They'll willingly pay for someone who can be able to get them to their goals much quicker or much more efficiently. And then from there, it gives you options. And there are many ways that you can make passive income in your fitness business. But one of the most common ways that we see is being able to start to build a team of personal trainers. And what that means for you is that you do get to fulfill your mission of impacting more people and being able to service more people. So with this 6-step process, we've looked at steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What's the outcome? What's the end goal? What's the journey of this? What does it mean for you? Well, since 2008, of all the personal trainers, of all the gym owners, of all the boot camp owners that we have coached, what they unanimously tell us, the outcome, the goal that they look for is number 1, making more profit. Now, making more money is good, making more revenue is good, but what is important in a business is the profitability, and that's the measure of success in a business. So you do need to make sure that you do have a profitable business. Next one down is having more freedom. So once again, when we spoke to many trainers, what they've said to us is, look, I do want to have the lifestyle, I do want to make the revenue, but I also want to have freedom. I haven't met many trainers who have told me, look, I want to work 70, 80 or 90 hour weeks. Most of them tell us that the reason they got into this industry is because it is a lifestyle-based industry and they absolutely love it. And so they want to engineer the perfect balance between the amount of time they exchange and the revenue they receive. And then down the bottom, ultimately, what does it mean for you? Well, you do have the ability to impact more people's lives. And so once again, when we speak to the thousands of PTs that we've worked with, that's the big thing that they've said to us is going, we absolutely love what we do. We love seeing the change in people. And that's what really drives us and makes us passionate. So if you also want to build a thriving fitness business, if you also have a passion for servicing and being able to impact more people's lives, and if you absolutely want to do what you love, impact more people's lives, and be able to receive and what it is that you desire so you can actually enjoy the rewards of your effort, the good news is that you can have it all. And so what we've been able to do is assist trainers all around the world to be able to do that. Now, in 2008, we did launch Create PT Wealth, and that's how some of you may have known us. And over that time, since 2008, myself and my business partner, Jason Ubanowicz, that you can see there in the photo, we've coached well over 10,000 fitness professionals and gym owners to predictability. We've coached them to certainty and profits at the same time as doing what they are most passionate about. Now in 2020, we've rebranded as Trainer HQ. Same people, just a brand new name and a brand new look leading into the new decade. And trust me, since 2008, we know exactly what good looks like. So whether you're a personal trainer who's based out of a commercial gym, whether you run your own private personal training studio, whether you run a fitness business that conducts itself outdoors or mobile, or you run some type of boot camp, whether you run your own gym, maybe you have your own MMA facility, or maybe you have your own functional fitness box, CrossFit box, you might be an online coach servicing people that way, or alternatively, you might be an allied health professional. Trust me, since 2008, we've coached every type of business that you've just seen there, and we know what works inside each of those models. Now, over the time that we've been running our seminars and events, we've run literally hundreds of seminars and events over that time. And the biggest thing we get asked is, hey guys, when are you actually going to launch some type of online program that can be done from anywhere at any time? And so we finally launched that, and so we want to share that information with you. The program is called Pathway to Profits, and right now I'm inviting you to take the first step to find out about what that program entails and how it can get you everything that we've just spoken about. Inside Pathway to Profits, we've made sure that we've engineered a program that delivers both the information and the content, so you can understand the key metrics and the key points on what it takes to build a wildly profitable and successful business. We've also put in there the resources and the templates that we think are appropriate for you to design so that you can start to build your own intellectual property, which is going to assist you to have a higher success rate inside your business. And most importantly, we've also got the action tasks and we've got the support. So we've built the community, and we want to assist you on your journey to become successful as a trainer. So we are inviting you to be part of Pathway to Profits program, and all you need to do at this point in time is to take the first step and to find out what Pathway to Profits is all about and how it can make a huge impact on your fitness business. So I look forward to that step with you, and I also look forward to welcoming you to the Trainer HQ community.